April 1945. Thuringia, Germany. General George S. Patton sat in his jeep. The road was empty, only ruins. Destroyed houses, burned trees. The war was almost over. Germany lay in rubbles. But Patton wasn't here to celebrate victory. He was here because he'd received a report about a camp, a concentration camp, Buchenwald. His officers had told him, "General, you shouldn't see this. It's hell." Patton had looked at them. "If my men had to see it, then I have to see it too." Now he was on his way. His face was hard, his eyes fixed. He knew what awaited him, but he didn't really know. Nobody could know before they'd seen it. The gate. The jeep stopped in front of the camp entrance. Patton got out. Before him stood an iron gate. On it read, "Jedem das Seine." Patton stared at the words. He understood German. He knew what it meant. To each his own. Everyone gets what they deserve. An officer approached him, Captain James Miller. He looked exhausted. His eyes were empty. "General, we liberated the camp 3 days ago. We tried to document everything, but..." His voice broke off. Patton looked at him. "Show me." Miller nodded. He led Patton through the gate. What Patton saw made him freeze. Bodies everywhere, piles of bodies, hundreds, thousands, skeletons in striped clothing, emaciated bodies lying on the ground. Some were still warm. Patton walked slowly, step by step. He saw everything, every body, every face. In one barrack, living people, but they looked like the dead. Bones and skin, no muscles, no strength. They lay on wooden bunks. Some couldn't even lift their heads. One of them, an old man, stretched out his hand. He wanted to touch Patton's hand. Patton moved closer. The man whispered something in Yiddish. Patton didn't understand it, but he saw the gratitude in his eyes. Patton walked on. The crematoriums. Miller led him to the ovens where bodies were burned. Patton looked inside. Still ashes, still bones. Still the smell of burned flesh. He stepped back. His face was pale. He went outside, and then he vomited. A general, a man who'd experienced 2 world wars, a man who'd commanded battles where thousands died, and he vomited. Miller stood beside him. "General, I'm sorry you had to see this." Patton straightened up, wiped his mouth. "No, I'm sorry we didn't stop it sooner." The guards. Patton walked back into the camp. He saw a group of men. They stood apart, guarded by American soldiers. They still wore their SS uniforms. "Who are they?" Patton asked. "Those are the guards, General. The camp commandant and 12 of his men. They surrendered." Patton walked toward them. The SS men saw him. Some lowered their gaze. Others looked at him directly. Cold, without remorse. Patton stopped in front of the commandant. The man was tall, maybe 50 years old. His face was expressionless. Patton spoke in German. "How many?" The commandant didn't answer. "How many people did you murder here?" Still no answer. Patton stepped closer. "I saw the bodies. I saw the ovens. I saw the people who are still alive. How many?" The commandant shrugged. "I was only following orders." Patton stared at him. His hand moved to his pistol. He placed his hand on the grip. The American soldiers watched him. They waited. "General," Miller stepped forward, "the Geneva Convention. We can't..." Patton interrupted him. "I know what the Geneva Convention says, Captain." He pulled his hand away from the pistol, but his eyes didn't leave the commandant. "Shoot him." Patton's voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. Miller froze. "Sir?" "Shoot him, now." "General, we can't do that. That's a war crime. He has to stand trial." "Stand trial?" Patton exploded. His voice echoed through the camp. This man murdered thousands, thousands, and you want to put him on trial? You want to give him a lawyer? You want to give him time? Miller said nothing. Patton breathed heavily. He looked around. The bodies, the survivors, the ovens. Then he looked at the American soldiers. Young men, 20 years old. They'd seen all of this. They'd buried the bodies. They'd cared for the survivors. And now they stood here guarding the men who'd done all this. Patton saw their hatred, their rage. He understood them. Captain Miller. Patton's voice was now calm again. Too calm. Yes, sir? How many of your men want to shoot these SS guards? Miller looked at his soldiers. Every single one raised their hand. All of them, sir. Patton nodded. And if I give the order? If I say, shoot them? What would your men do? Miller hesitated. They would obey, sir. And then we'd be murderers. Then we'd be like them. The soldiers looked at Patton, confused. I want to kill these men. Patton now spoke to everyone. Every one of you wants that, and you know what? You're right. These men deserve no mercy. They deserve no trial. They deserve a bullet. Immediately. He walked to the commandant, stood directly in front of him. But here's the problem. If I have you shot now, then I'm like you. Then I've killed a defenseless prisoner. And that makes me a criminal. The commandant looked at Patton. A faint smile appeared on his face. You think that's a victory for you? Patton stepped even closer. You think you've won because I can't kill you? The smile disappeared. No. Patton spoke quietly, but his words were like blades. You're alive today because I'm not allowed to kill you. But you will stand trial, and the whole world will see what you did. He pointed to the camp. All of this will be photographed, filmed, documented, and your face will stand beside it. Your name will be forever connected to this place. You won't die as a soldier. You'll die as what you are, a murderer. Patton turned to Miller. Take these men to solitary confinement. No contact with each other. No contact with other prisoners. They wait for their judgment. Yes, sir. Patton looked at the SS men one last time. You will hang, every single one of you, and I will make sure the world watches. The world should see. Patton ordered everything to be documented, every room, every body, every face. He ordered German civilians from the nearby town of Weimar to be brought, thousands. They had to walk through the camp. They had to see it. They had to understand what had been done in their name. Many cried. Some vomited. A few said, "We didn't know." Patton stood at the gate and looked at them. Now you know. He also ordered that the bodies be buried, but not immediately. First the photographers should come, the journalists. The world should see. The verdict. The trial took place in 1946. The camp commandant and his guards were charged. The evidence was overwhelming. Thousands of witnesses, thousands of photos, the ovens, the bodies. The commandant showed no remorse. Until the end, he said, I was only following orders. He was sentenced to death. Hanged. 1947. Patton didn't live to see it. He died in December 1945 in a car accident. But his legacy remained. The truth. Years later, one of the soldiers who was at Buchenwald said, General Patton wanted to kill them. We all wanted to, but he didn't do it. Not because he was weak, but because he understood that we couldn't become like them. That justice is more than revenge. That day I learned what it means to be a soldier, not just to fight, but to know when to stop.